Basically, when you talk about this Informatica Powercenter course, so the course will be started from the scratch. Like we are going to understand all the data warehousing concepts first, because Informatica Powercenter is nothing but it is a ETL tool that comes under the data warehousing environment. So basically, we'll try to understand about the basics of the data warehouse. For the first 5 classes, we'll understand only the data warehousing concept, like what is the data warehouse and what are the different systems that we have and what are the different tables that we have it here, and what is the role of ETL tools and the BA tools here, and what kind of modeling is done here. And so all these different concepts we are going to understand for the first 5 classes. So once we are done with the 5 classes, so then I am going to explain you, yes, I am going to walk you through to the Informatica Powercenter that we have it. So the main objective of this class is that we are going to understand what is the data warehouse and what are the different systems involved here, and why the data warehouse is used, what is the purpose of ETL, and what is the role of Informatica Powercenter, and what are the different ETL tools and BA tools that we have in the market. And so we'll try to understand about the basics of the data warehouse in the current class, right? So when we talk about the basics of the data warehouse, so we'll have to first understand about what exactly is the data. So what is the data? So data is nothing but it's a measure of any business analysis that is used. So basically, if you take any company, the main objective of storing the data is for the business analysis. So how we are going to do the business analysis, we'll try to understand that. So let us say if you have any banking sector, I have a banking sector. So what I'll do is that whenever I wanted to do any kind of core banking operations, so like crediting the amount into my account or debiting the amount. So what I'll do is that I'll first of all if I wanted to credit the amount, so I'll just go into the a banking system. I'll write some account. I'll write some slip saying that I wanted to deposit this much amount into my account. So I'll write that, and I'll go to the agent over there that is present in the bank. So what happens is that when the agent checks my account details through the front-end application that we have, you might be knowing. So what is the front-end application? So when you enter the account details of, when you enter the account number, so what happens, you will get the name and the address, the phone number, and what is the current balance. So all those things will be displayed in the front-end application that we have it. So when I talk about this front-end application, so this front-end application is something that is designed by any of the programming languages that we have. Yes, it is designed with any of the programming languages that we have. Like it could be .NET or Java or any kind of PHP or D2K forms. So the front-end application that is that we are seeing, so it is designed with any kind of programming languages. So since the programming languages they are not able to store the data. So we need to have we need to store the data at some place in order to have the future reference for doing the business analysis. For this purpose, what we have done is we have a concept called as a server or the database. So the information from the front-end application, we are going to load the data into the server or the database that we call it as. So what exactly is this database means? So database is nothing but it's a software package that we have that stores the data in the form of tables. So we have tables in the database where the data will be stored into. So when we talk about these databases, we have multiple databases in the market. Like we have Oracle, which is from Oracle Corporation. We have SQL Server, which is from Microsoft. You have Ab initio, which is from you have DB2, which is from IBM. there is a database called as a Teradata, which is from Teradata Corporation, and so Spybase, that is acquired by SAP system, SAP, right? So these are all the popular databases that we have it in the current market. So how you are going to communicate with this database? So we have a common language called as a SQL language. SQL language. So what is the SQL language? It's nothing but structured querying language. Structured querying language. So using this language, what we can do is that we use different commands, right? So if you wanted to insert the data, you'll use the insert command. If you wanted to truncate the data, if you wanted to drop the tables, yes, if you wanted to update the data, or if you wanted to delete the data. So we use all these different commands in order to do different operations in the database with using the SQL SQL language that we have it. So that is more about how exactly the data will be stored in the database that we have it. So before understanding what exactly is a data warehouse, we'll try to understand what are the different systems so that we have it in the market. So we have a system called as a OLTP system. OLTP system, which is nothing but online transactional processing system. Online transactional processing system. So in our daily lives, so when you go outside, so anywhere you have abundantly see the usage of this OLTP system. So if you take any kind of airline application or railway applications, right? So order entry applications. If you take any kind of e-commerce applications like Flipkart, or you can say Amazon. So all these applications are basically called as a OLTP applications. All these applications are called as a OLTP applications, where all the operational transactions will be done. So whenever you do any kind of operation on this, so when I say operation, it's something but a transaction. So let us say whenever you wanted to, yes, so banking sector. Banking sector is also a typical example of the OLTP system. So whenever you do any kind of core banking transactions like debiting the amount or the crediting the amount, it's nothing but a transaction. Right? So whenever you booked a product in the e-commerce application, that is nothing but a transaction. Whenever you cancel the product, that is also nothing but a transaction. So you are going to do lot of transactions on top of this OLTP system. So what is meant by a transaction? A transaction is nothing but it's a set of DML operations. It's a set of DML operations. So when we say DML operation, we either insert the data into the OLTP system, or we update the data into the OLTP system, or we may delete the data into the OLTP system. So whenever you book a product, whenever you book a ticket in the railway application, so basically it's nothing but you are adding the data to the OLTP system, which is nothing but a transaction. So the OLTP systems are designed in such a way that you have lot of transactions are stored, lot of transactions are operated. So this is the backbone of any enterprise. It's a backbone of any enterprise because it basically stores all the operational transactions. It is the backbone of any enterprise, and so large number of users are there. Large number of users are there. Large volumes of transactions will be, large volume of transactions will be done. And it is available 24/7. It is available 24/7 to the users. So this is about this is more about the OLTP system that we have it. So the OLTP system is the backbone of entry enterprise that basically carries out all the transaction. So let us say if I have 3 OLTP systems are there. Understand clearly. I have 3 OLTP systems are there. So one is the OLTP system where it carries out all the core banking transactions. We have another OLTP system that carries out all the credit card transactions. Okay, so banking transactions. So this system is present on SAP. You have all the credit card transactions. Let's say this system is present in Oracle. You have all the insurance level transactions are stored in this mainframe system. So these are all the different OLTP systems that we have. OLTP systems that you have when you talk about the SBA, State Bank of India. So State Bank of India is present for performing the banking transactions as well as the credit card transactions as well as the insurance transactions. So let us say if I am the sales manager of the company so I am the regional manager of the company. I wanted to analyze how the business is running across the South India. So if I have to do that, what I will have to do is that I will have to log down into each place how it is running, and I will have to check how the banking sector is going on, how the insurance is going on, and how the credit card system is going on. I will have to check that. So if I have to do that, I will have to walk down to each system where it is present. And OLTP systems are designed in such a way that it basically contains current data. So when I say current data, so OLTP system always it contains the current data or at present data. So if you go to the ATM machine, if you try to take the mini statement of your account, it is going to give you the last 10 transactions that you have done. So when you have done all the last 10 transactions only today itself, were you able to see the yesterday's data? No. Were you able to see the last week data? No, you are not supposed to do that, because OLTP system is the system that contains only the current data, current transactions only it is going to store it. So when you have the current transactions or current data, it is difficult to perform the business analysis. So what is the business analysis? It's nothing but you are going to compare the business with the different time periods, or like you compare the today's business with yesterday's, or this quarter business with last quarter, or this year business with last year business, or this quarter or this year business with other company, other vendors business. I am going to compare it. So if I have to do that, I need the historical data. So this historical data is not available in the OLTP system because it contains the current data, and here no integrated data is present. No integrated data is present. So when I say no integrated data, so basically you can see here, so all the transactions with respect to the core banking are stored here, all the credit card transactions are stored here, and all the insurance transactions are stored here. So the data is basically scattered across multiple applications, multiple different applications and different systems. So till now there is no reporting tool in the market that can fetch the data from multiple technologies like SAP, Oracle and mainframes at the same time and fetch the data and show that in the report. So there is no reporting tool till date. So we have different challenges and you can see there are different standards are maintained in each OLTP system. Yes, different standards are maintained. So these are all the different disadvantages that we have, where it is not possible for us to analyze the business when we have the data in the OLTP system. So for overcoming this kind of problem, in order to perform the business analysis perfectly, so what I am going to do is that I am going to build a very big database. And I am going to extract the information from multiple OLTPs. I'll transform the information into a homogeneous format and I'll load the data into the very big database which is called as a data warehouse. So what is a data warehouse now? So a data warehouse is also again a database. It is also again a database where when you go into the real time, your data warehouse could be on any database, whether it could be Oracle, or it could be SQL Server, or it could be DB2, it could be Sybase, yes, or it could be the most popular Teradata. So your data warehouse could be on any of these popular databases that we have it. So how you are going to move the data into this data warehouse? So it's like using the ETL process. Using the ETL process to move the data. So what is this ETL process? It's nothing but it is a process of extracting the transactions or extracting the operational data from multiple OLTP systems, transforming the data into a homogeneous format, and loading the data into a very big database which is called as a data warehouse. So on every day-to-day basis, okay, we are going to store all the transactions, or we are going to insert all the transactions into this data warehouse. We'll insert all the transactions. So since we have all the transactions over a period of time, so the data that you have it is the historical data. The data that you have it here is the historical data is present, and so large volumes of data is present, which will be useful for the decision making. You can use this system. So how can so you have loaded the data into the data warehouse, but so being a regional manager or any kind of a business user of the company, so these guys are not the technical people in order to query the data from the data warehouse and understand how the business is running. So they are not the technical people to do that. So in order to perform this task, so what happens is that there is another layer called as a BI layer. There is another layer called as a BI layer or business intelligence layer. So what happens here is that you have some set of BI tools here, business intelligence tools, or you call it as in the normal terminology, you call it as a reporting tools. So these tools, what they do is that they are going to query the data. Yes, they are going to query the data. These tools will query the data from the data warehouse, and they are going to represent the data in the form of reports. They are going to represent the data in the form of reports, whether it could be a bar diagram, yes, or whether it could be a bar graph or a pie chart, yes, or it could be in a tabular format. So you can design a dashboard. So you are going to represent the data in a very interactive format and very understandable format, and so these reports will be sent to the business users, like the sales managers or whatever the department specific decision makers are there. So these reports will be sent to them so that they can understand how the business is running by seeing this report. So without having the data warehouse, we cannot do all these things. So only because we have the data warehouse, we are able to analyze how the business is running. We are able to analyze what is the growth of the business. So what kind of profit we attained by, if we have the credit card system, what kind of profit we have attained by if we have the insurance system. So who are the best customers that are there. So what kind of offers extra I can provide to the best customers, so that if they are going to make a lot of transactions or lot of insurance payments they can do. So all these kinds of statistical decisions I can perform whenever I have the data warehouse. So when the data warehouse is useful for the analysis purpose, so this system is called as a OLAP system, Online Analytical Processing System. Online Analytical Processing System. So when I say a data warehouse or when I say a OLAP database, both are same. So what is the OLAP system? It's Online Analytical Processing System, which is useful for analysis of the business. We have the ETL developers. We have ETL developers who will design this ETL process. So these ETL developers are going to design this ETL process in order to perform the where you can perform this business analysis when you have the data here. So the ETL developers are going to design the plan of ETLs, or they are going to design this ETL process in order to move the data from the OLTP systems to the OLAP system. So they make use of this ETL tools. So when I say ETL tools, you have multiple ETL tools in the market. Like you have Informatica Powercenter is the ETL tool, which is from Informatica Corporation. You have Data Stage, which is from IBM. You have SSIS, which is from Microsoft, and you have Abnisio, so which is another ETL tool that is from Abnisio Corporation. You have Oracle Data Integrator, so which is from Oracle Database, Oracle Corporation. So these are all the different ETL tools that we have. So where we can use this, make use of this ETL tools in order to build the data warehouse. So using this ETL tools, as a ETL developer, you are going to create the plan of ETL called as a ETL process in order to move the data from OLTP system into the OLAP system. So once the data is available here, so the BA tools will access the data and they represent the data in the form of reports. So when I say BA tools, so there are also multiple BA tools that you have it in the market. Like Cognos is the most popular BA tool. You have SAP BO, Tableau, you have a MicroStrategy, right? Hyperion is another BA tool. So these are all the different BA tools that we have it in the market. So the BA developers using these BA tools, they will access the data from the data warehouse and they create the reports, and these reports will be accessed by the CEOs of the companies or the stakeholders of the companies, and they're going to analyze how the business is running. So this is what the process of the data warehouse. So the data warehouse is nothing but it's a database that we have. So what is a data warehouse? A data warehouse is also a database, but it is large in structure. It contains the data over a period of time. So its storage is very big. So if we have started implementing the data warehouse from 2010, it contains 2011 data, 12 data, 13 data, 14 data, 15 data. Up to today's date, you will have the data existing within the data warehouse. So if you wanted to access on a particular 2012 data you wanted to access, yes, you can do that within the data warehouse that we have it. So basically, when you talk about this data warehouse, there are two authors who have given their own definitions in understanding what exactly is a data warehouse. So one is, so we have one, Rolf Kimball is the author. So he said that, so a data warehouse is a RDBMS that is useful for analyzing the business operations. He said that it's a data warehouse is useful for analyzing the business operations. Whereas you have another scientist like Bill Imbol. So he said that in order to build a data warehouse should be an integrated one, integrated database. A data warehouse should be a time variant database, and it's a non-volatile database, and it's a subject-oriented database, So in order to build the data warehouse, so the data warehouse should possess all these characteristics. It should be integrated, it should be time variant, it should be non-volatile, and it should be subject-oriented database in support to the management decision-making process. So this is all about the basics of the data warehouse that we have, and so you can see here. So this is the ETL process which we are going to do it. Like we have multiple transactional systems that we have. So what we'll do is that using the ETL process or using the Informatica Powercenter, we move the data from this transactional sources into this data warehouse. So from the data warehouse, so we have a data access layer. So that basically using the reporting tools, so they'll access the data from the data warehouse and the reports will be generated. So this process is called as the ETL process, and this area is called as the ETL layer. So from the data warehouse, it is called as a BA layer. So DW plus BA, data warehouse business intelligence is called as. Okay. And you can see there are different products that are basically playing a wide range of products are released by Informatica Corporation. So Informatica Powercenter is the ETL tool from Informatica Corporation. So not only this Informatica Powercenter, we have wide range of products that are released by Informatica Corporation, which are playing basically the major role in the data warehousing environment. Like you have cloud computing, you have complex event processing, master data management, B2B data exchange, application ILM, ultra messaging, so cloud computing. So whenever we have the data in the cloud, so like if we have data in the cloud applications like Salesforce or any other cloud applications, so using the Informatica Powercenter, you can access the data from the cloud as well as you can load the data into the same any kind of cloud application. Right? So even you can access the data when you have it in the social networking sites also. Using the Informatica Powercenter, you can access the data from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other social networking site also you can access data from. So these are all the different different products that we have. And so when you talk about, so why do we have to come for this course? So what is the purpose of Informatica Powercenter? So why it is a leading tool that we have it out of all other ETL tools? Is because it's a robust tool that we have. Yes.
Sir, I have a question. So what master data management? Sorry to interrupt.
So master data management is a different application, altogether different application that we have. So in order to have the single version of the truth, we basically go with the master data management. Okay. So it's like maintaining the master data. It's like more of maintaining the single version of the truth. See, let's say if we have multiple systems are there. Okay, so you have customer relation application and you have a different application that you see. This master data management will work before this ETL process. You can see here you have this ETL process, right? So before the ETL process happens, before the data warehouse is built, so the master data management will work on the transactional system or the legacy system that we have here. It is going to work here. So what is the purpose of this master data management is that, so it is going to access the data from different applications and it will create something called as a master MDM hub. Okay. So these MDM hub, what happens is that, so you may be having different different standards available in each OLTP system. See, so when you have the CRM application, my name is like Venkatesh and my address is different one. So here in another application I have Venkat, I have a different with the same address. So when you have different standards in each application, so what you do is that you are going to move the data into the MDM hub. You are going to move the data into the MDM hub. So in this MDM hub, we'll update so we'll track the changes. We'll track the changes here. We'll track the standards that are there, and we'll again update that back to the source system so that we have it. So master data management is a process that happens before the warehouse. So warehouse is basically it's a downstream process that we have it. So it's like maintaining the single version of truth, across all other applications.
Okay. So it's like unified standard across disparate systems that we have before moving the data into where.
Exactly. So we are going to maintain the standard by using this kind of master data application.
Okay.
Right. So we can do that by using this MDM application.
Okay. Thanks. Right.
Right. So why do we need this? Why Informatica is the standard ETL tool is that so it's a robust tool. So it can be executed on any kind of environment that we have, whether it is Unix environment or Windows environment, and so it is the market performance where most of the companies, like the Fortune 500 companies, 90% they use the Informatica Powercenter for performing the ETL for performing that ETL applications, and it's the proven technology leader, and you have continuous innovation with that, and it's the most trusted partner, and it has the long history of the customer success. So basically, when I say continuous innovation, so like so using the Informatica Powercenter, it can basically connect to any kind of a system that we have. So whether it is when you have the data in the any kind of ERP solution, whether you have the data in Lotus Notes or AS400 or the recent big data, right? So MongoDB or any other big data application. So the source system could be anything. So Informatica Powercenter has the capability to extract the data from any kind of source system. So whether the data could resist in the cloud, right? So wherever the source system may be. So you have the continuous innovation, like so they're going to have the plugin adapter created every time. I mean, plugin adapter innovated every time for any application that we have in the market, so that it can connect to any kind of system, and it can start reading the data. At the same time, it can load the data to any kind of system also. Okay. And so what made the difference with the other ETL tools is that, so basically Informatica Powercenter is a tool that can be used in two kinds of projects. It can be used like it is used in the data warehousing projects, like how we have done here, how we have seen the diagram, and you have it used in the data integration project. So data integration is nothing but it's like moving the data from one application to another application. So it's like migrating the data from one system to another system. So when I say system, so let us say if we have a billing system is there, and so that billing system is present in PeopleSoft. They wanted to update the system to SAP. So when they do that, when they create the SAP system, so we have to move all the data from this PeopleSoft into that SAP system. So this is what you can do by using the Informatica Powercenter also. So Informatica Powercenter is a data integration tool. It's a data integration platform that is used in data warehousing projects for creating the data warehouse, and the data migration project in order to migrate the data. Okay. So what are the prerequisites of this Informatica Powercenter? So you need to have a good knowledge on SQL, you need to have a good knowledge on PL SQL, and good knowledge on Unix commands and the Unix scripting. So all these four things are the prerequisites of this Informatica Powercenter. So since we are going to understand for the first 5 days, we'll try to understand about data warehousing concepts. You can brush your knowledge on SQL and the PL SQL. And so as a part of this training, we are going to even give you the knowledge on Unix commands and the Unix scripting. Means, so Informatica is something most of the Informatica servers are present in the Unix environment. So I'm going to give you the scenarios, and I'll teach you the basic commands that we have, and mostly the scenarios where the where we are going to face it in the real time. So all those scenarios, I'm going to give you a class about the Unix commands and the scenarios where the Unix scripting is used as a part of this training session. And so basically the training is divided into 3 modules. One is like the data warehousing concept, Informatica developer, and the Informatica admin concept. So whenever you attend this training, so basically you can apply the job for Informatica developer, and you can apply the job for Informatica administrator. So basically there are 2 roles are there. Informatica developer and Informatica administrator. So when it comes to the data warehousing concept, so you'll understand all these concepts for the first 5 days. So what is the data warehouse, OLTP system, OLAP system, authors few differences between OLTP and OLAP. So what are the different architecture of the data warehouse that we have? So what is the data mart? So what is the data modeling? So what are the different data modeling tools that we have? So types of schemas, facts, and the dimension tables. So all these things we'll understand in the first of 5 classes. And when it comes to the Powercenter admin concept, you see the architecture, installation and the configuration, creation of the services, users, roles, and groups. So all these command line utilities, migration, yes, backup and recovery, and the Power Center manager, repository manager. So we'll try to see all these concepts for the next 5 days as a part of the Informatica admin concept. So not only this, we'll see even the developer concept, like so we'll see the fundamentals of the ETL. So what are the different client tools that we have here? So what are the different transformation logics that we can apply on the incoming data? And so different caches that are available. So what are the parameters and the variables? And we can see even the debugger and the inbuilt scheduling scheduler that we have. And we'll see even the version control utility. And so all those things we are going to understand. So the performance tuning, optimization, and the ETL scenarios, best practices, and even the project implementation. So I'm going to give you the awareness on how the real-time project will be there. And so we are going to understand the Informatica Powercenter tool with a project. So it will be simultaneous. So on the similar of 30 days, 30 classes it will take. And so BigClasses is going to provide you the VMware software. So in that VMware software, you have the latest version of Informatica, which is 9.5.1, and you have the Oracle 10G within the Windows environment. So we have this software that will be installed by BigClasses, and you can work on this VMware whenever you have the hands-on practice. So as a part of this training, we are going to provide all these materials, like the most importantly sales case study we are going to understand. And so the data warehousing material, SQL material, field SQL material, Informatica material, labs. Most importantly, after class 10 support means that I'm going to give my mail ID and phone number to you. So if you have any doubts, you can feel free to contact me through that or WhatsApp me. So all the interview technical questions, interview technical scenarios, and the Unix material, daily assignments, and the daily notes will be given as a part of this training session. So whenever you have attended this training, so basically most of my students, 90%, they have selected into multiple companies, and some are they are going with that. And even I'm going to give you the so as a part of since you are my students, right? So I'm going to give you even support, job support, and so we'll try to provide even the resume preparation and all those things, right? So this is about the demo of the data warehousing and the Informatica Power Center.